As the fall semester is coming up, students are getting ready to take their finals and are looking at applying for what colleges they want to transfer to.
From the BMC studio at Onondaga Community College, this is ONTV Update.
Good afternoon and welcome to ONTV Update. Today is Friday, April 16th. I'm Robert Walker with New York being a year into quarantine now. COVID-19 numbers have been dropping since this time last year. Right now, nearly 270,000 reported tests, only 3.5% of New York is positive. With a total positive case of being over 9,000, only half of the people who get COVID have to be hospitalized. Numbers of COVID patients that who have had to go to ICU have dropped below 900, which is the lowest it's been since December. Even with numbers dropping, there is sadly still over 60 deaths due to the virus. The end of the spring semester is coming up, which means the fall semester is right around the corner. Barbadu Racha is going to take us on an inside look at what the fall semester is going to look like for students and staff.
Casey Cribble is president at Onondaga Community College, and she says that more things might be getting back to being more normal during the fall semester.
We've heard loud and clear from our students, and the data that our faculty has looked at has really made it clear that for fall, classes should be mostly face-to-face.
Dr. Cribble says not only will classes be more in person, the students will be able to do more on-campus activities.
We expect our athletic teams to play, clubs and organizations should be able to meet. There may still be some requirements, and that will be up to the health department. We may still need to mask.
Dr. Cribble is looking forward to more students to be on campus.
I hope that the students will be able to have that really important on-campus time with each other. College is a place where you explore ideas, but also you explore who you are, and that's really hard to do without being around other people, I think.
Sean Varmwald is the Director of Sustainability and Environmental Health and Safety, and he manages the college's COVID-19 response. He tells us what the fall semester will look like.
In the fall, we'll likely do some COVID testing, but it will depend on if SUNY continues to mandate weekly testing.
Since COVID started spreading everywhere, each student gets tested every week, and it has become a normal thing.
This year we've been testing about 2,600 people each week.
With students and staff being tested every week, it has made it safer for more students to be on campus for the coming up fall semester.
For the fall semester, students have the options to take in-person classes or online classes. Each student has their own advisor based on their major. The fall semester is coming up soon, and registrations are open for students to apply for classes. And to sign up, go to the OCC website at sunyocc.edu. Then click on I'm a student, current student. After that, click on the web advisor, sign in with your student account, and then choose what classes you want to sign up for. If you're not sure what classes to sign up for based on your major, you can set up an appointment with an advisor located in Gordon Student Center. They will help you with every step of the way. With COVID restrictions being lifted in many places like Texas, New York is starting to lift some restrictions. Starting back on April 1st, according to governor.newyork.gov, people traveling outside of the state will no longer have to quarantine, but are still recommended for safety. People who are traveling outside of the country still have to do a mandatory quarantine no matter where you are traveling. You still have to fill out a traveler's health form. Coming up later, how COVID has affected basketball players on the court and how the hope that they will change in the next year. Also coming up, we take a peek at a device to check out how the weather temperatures is switching it up for the changes in the season.
The vast majority of the programs that we have are getting students ready to have skills that will transfer right into being able to go to work.
It's exciting to see that, yeah, they're definitely, the jobs are in demand for these different occupations.
Most of this stuff is going to be located right here in Whitney Hall. Certainly applied technology and all our labs are located over here in Whitney Hall. You can just reach out to our school office directly.
I love working at the library. I've been a librarian for many, many years. Love helping students. I love the moment, especially here at OCC, when I'm assisting a student who might be doing research and they're just like, say, I never knew about that. I never knew you could do that. And that's such a great moment because we have such a huge and wonderful amount of resources available to students that many of them don't really know how to access.
Finals are coming up fast, and Coulter Library is ready. We have lots of new computers, several new study rooms, and extended hours for finals review sessions. If you're stressed about that final exam or frantically working to finish that term paper, look no further. Take advantage of our subject resources and prepare for the end of a successful semester here at Coulter Library.
I think OCC is a great choice for students, especially if they're not exactly sure what they want to do. I developed the Geospatial Science and Technology program as a way to introduce students to that world that I discovered, learning how to make maps with a computer, collecting data and analyzing that. And we still have a lot of industry connections, and that's always good for trying to find internships or even full-time employment.
I think working with the students and hearing the stories of how successful students are, and lately I've got a lot of, being able to write letters of recommendations to students that are going on to a next program, and hearing about what they've done at their next school or in their next career move. I think that's hearing the success stories and really working with the students and getting to know the students. Sometimes my office is a revolving door because students want to come in and talk, which is great. So that's why I'm here.
Living at OCC is a great experience academically and socially. One of my first impressions of OCC is that it was a bigger than normal community college, more like a private school. All the academic resources are within my fingertips. I can go to the library, do homework outside of the dorms, and then come back and have a nice social life without being stressed. Smaller class size allows me to interact with the professor more. OCC also has a great education with an affordable tuition for anybody of any age.
Welcome back to ONTV Update. I'm Robert Walker. Here today to talk about weather is Ryan Gilmore. What's the weather looking like nearly a month into spring?
Well, we all know April showers bring May flowers, and that's certainly the case this year. According to AccuWeather.com, today will be a high of 47 and a low of 39 with a very good chance of rain. Those sun showers slightly flow into the partly cloudy weekend with a high of 54 tomorrow, a high of 61 Sunday, and a low of 41 both days with a small chance of rain. Later on in the week, we'll have a good bit more sunshine, but expect a little rainfall through the week. Monday and Tuesday, the clouds lighten up and the warm sun will start coming through. We have a high of 61 and a low of 43 for this bright and sunny Monday, followed by a high of 62 and a low of 40 with more clouds and slight rain for Tuesday. Wednesday, we will also feel a temperature drop with a high of 53 and lows of 33. With the weather and temperature always changing, Onondaga Community College needs to stay up to date. Luckily, we can, since we have our very own weather station on campus. I go to Ferrante Hall to learn what the device does and what it is.
The weather station on Ferrante Hall is the main source of weather information for Onondaga Community College.
In 2007, we got a President's Incentive Grant to purchase a Davis Weather Monitor 2 weather station.
Meteorology professor Martin Martino monitors it all on his office computer.
It's got a rain gauge, it's got an anemometer and wind vane for wind speed and wind direction. It's got temperature sensor, it's got humidity sensor, It's got a solar sensor so we can figure out how much energy is coming in from the sun.
Assistant Professor of Physics Bob Collins shares his opinion.
A very useful piece of data gathering equipment that we make use of for meteorology courses. Plus it's generally helpful to know.
The OCC weather station stretches across the entire Onondaga County. So it goes from Oswego down to Cortland and from Cayuga all the way to Madison County.
I make sure that that data gets sent to a server on campus that has a couple of web pages that I've created. And you can see the current weather, you can see the last 24 hours of weather, all these different parameters of temperature, relative humidity, dew point temperature, winds, precipitation, how much energy, what the barometric pressure is, all the parameters you normally think about at a surface station.
Allows students to connect to the data from home, which helps deliver the information that people need to understand meteorological conditions and develop an understanding of the behavior of weather.
Next year will be its 15th birthday, and hopefully we see many more.
Any OCC student wondering what campus weather is like can always check out the station's info at weatherstation.sunyocc.edu. Weather stats are updated daily.
The new program TRIO provides people to learn studying skills, career and personal advising. They also provide networking opportunities. To be eligible, you must be a first-generation college student, meet the income guidelines of total family can be under 150% of the poverty level. Guidelines and documented disability from the Office of Accessibility Resources. If you are interested in applying for the program, you can visit the website at sunyocc.sss/trio. Coming up later on how COVID did not stop a small business from learning. From fall semester sports returning in August, how are players feeling and what are they doing in the meantime? Find out after the break.
To my knowledge, every single person that's teaching in the program is still presently actively working in the field. Every single one of these professors is an expert in their craft. If it wasn't for this department, if it wasn't for people like Mark Ballard or Mike Kaminsky or Magic on the radio side of things, 0 Point and myself, I wouldn't be where I am today.
In the sound recording program, I was asked to develop 4 courses and teach those 4 courses based in studio recording. So learning the basics of microphones and interface boxes and computer software and cabling and all that, and the process of just tracking musical performances and then mixing them. It gives those students who are interested in sound a little bit more of a broader education in how we can apply sound recording.
My classes aren't too bad. As a business major, they're kind of difficult, so I can always come here and get some help, or if I have any questions about my student profile or anything about that, there's always help here. They took me through like the list of options of courses that I could choose, and I picked the best ones that I think were suited for me. Honestly, without OCC and the help of the Student Center, I just wouldn't really be where I am today.
The School of Art, Design, Media, and Music is the best school.
So there's architecture and interior design. There is broadcast media and communications. There is art, photography, and music and sound recording.
We're a little different. We're very artistic, we're very creative.
A lot of the school is about advising, transfer, career building, and community, like having a place for people to go.
My favorite part about teaching criminal justice is the conversations I end up in with my students. We are talking about tough stuff, justice and fairness. What's different here than other places? the commitment of the faculty and staff in leading students towards their goals.
So Career Services does a variety of different things. We help students from day one, so exploring options within majors or careers, we help with that. We help with guiding them anything that they need throughout their schooling here, so helping them get job shadows and informational interviews, internships, volunteer experience, and then ultimately helping them for whatever's after OCC.
Good afternoon and welcome to ONTV Update. This is Friday, April 9th. I'm Carly Allen. With sports on hold, many sports players are anxious for August when sports return. I take you on campus to see how players feel.
With the pandemic still in full swing, staying 6 feet apart is the #1 rule. For sports, this is a rule that is impossible to follow. Basketball player Eddie Rivera wishes things could just go back to normal.
I usually go to the Y to get runs in, like the reps in and stuff like that, but with the Y restrictions now, we can only have 2 people on the court, so like it's hard to get like 5v5 and to get the reps in, be in a competitive state.
Roger Mirabito is the Executive Director of Communications who helps student athletes. He shares how players may be feeling due to the changes.
They've gone now multiple seasons without being able to play competitively, and it must be extremely challenging for them to keep their head in it mentally, to stay sharp physically, with the hope that they'll get back into it one day.
Athletes are struggling to stay motivated due to COVID, but without that A, they can't play.
I think when student athletes return to competition in the fall, they're going to be fired up and ready to go, incredibly excited, because one of those things they really love has been taken away from them through no fault of their own. We also know that student athletes do better in school when they have athletics like dangling out in front of them as a carrot, so to speak.
The pandemic has made playing sports extremely difficult. Only 2 people are allowed on the basketball courts at a time, and they must play 6 feet apart. However, with this discouragement, sports returning in the fall has been athletes' #1 motivator.
Yeah, I'm excited about sports coming back because now we can finally get more people on the court, so we can actually run full games and like not only shoot arounds because the restrictions, we're not able to play actual games, so it's not as fun as it would be if we had 5v5.
Not only are players looking forward to its return, but the fans are too.
On the bright side, OCC Athletics and the YMCA of Central New York have announced a new partnership for sport camps this summer, including boys and girls basketball, lacrosse, and soccer. More information on details for each camp and how to register will be available early May on the OCC website. Tuesday night's NBA game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Charlotte Hornets ended with the Lakers winning by 8 points with a score of 101-93. The Lakers have been without their leading scorers, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, due to leg injuries, so point guard Dennis Schroeder took on more responsibility and scored 19 points, with 6 assists being one of the key players for Tuesday's game. Also on Tuesday night, the Boston Red Sox played against Minnesota Twins with 4 scoreless innings and Minnesota with 2. The Twins needed to win by 2 runs or more to cover the spread, but failed, leading to the Red Sox taking the win. So Robert, what upcoming games are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's game between the Cavaliers and the Bulls. It should be a heated game. Yeah, pretty much. If you're looking for activities to do in Syracuse, stay tuned for after the break. Coming up after the break, how did a small business get created during COVID?
Look at what's happened here with COVID.
That was dreadful.
Look at how you've seen other schools where infection rates have been very high, and here they've been extremely low. That's because the students here are really dedicated to doing the right thing and to learn and work toward that degree and work toward a better life through higher education. I think a community college is the perfect answer to everyone's educational needs.
One thing that I love about my job is the people here at OCC. Students definitely need assistance with career exploration, and that's one of our expertise. So making sure that the students know what they want to do and any way that we could support it. I love working with the students. I love working with the faculty and staff. I like that every day is a little bit different.
Recently, the college has developed a new sound recording program, and we partnered with the music department, and 4 of the courses in that program are offered through the BNC program. BMC 225 and 226 focus on live sound reinforcement and recording. So a lot of students who are interested in if they have a band or if they perform live, what's the best way to get their sound to be optimized for their audience?
This can be in any major. They can have disabilities. I have students who do have disabilities and work with another department in addition to me. I have students who are veterans. I have students that work full-time. And I'm just a source of assistance for them to get them through the college process, that's all.
Everybody like on the edge of their seats yelling. People want to see you do good. People actually coming out to watch me play. So it definitely give me an incentive to play hard, get some buckets. I guess it's one of the top JUCOs in the country. This is a good program to get your name out there. I like to go by like the sky is the limit. Like you can do anything you put your mind to. Like I didn't really know I was gonna break a record. I just kind of figured like if I was to put all in the work in, you could do anything that you put your mind to. If you're gonna work hard or something, just give it your all.
Because we're a 2-year school, you're going to play right away. As a freshman, you're going to get pretty good parts, and as a sophomore, you're going to have all the best stuff. We have a lot of non-majors involved, and they can play in ensembles, they can take lessons, they can take music classes. They really could do all the music major things. There are no barriers to that. We have great equipment, we have great facilities. It's a lot of fun to be here. There's a lot of energy, and we do a lot of performing, which makes everybody kind of energetic and working towards those goals together, and it makes it a lot of fun.
For those of you that love watching movies but are tired of the same old stuff, Netflix tomorrow at 6 p.m. online movie host party Labs is airing a new film titled Yes Day. It's free to watch, but you must go to their website to RSVP and claim your code to the show. That website is partylabs.com. If you want to get out of the house and do something, also tomorrow from 7 to 9 p.m. there will be live music played by multiple artists and genres at the Wonder Bar. Host live music every Saturday located at 200 Southwest Street. It's always a free event, but COVID restrictions are still a thing, so the capacity and space will be limited. Also, if people want to leave the house, but music isn't their thing, every Saturday, St. Margaret's Church holds a vigil from 4:30 until 5:30 to help anyone who can't, trying to make religious connections. They have reconciliations 1 hour before the vigil every week, and they also hold a mass daily at 8 a.m. except Fridays. The past year has been very chaotic, and from day to day, not knowing what is going to come, but next, that did not stop a small local business called Seam Upcycled from starting during the pandemic. Seam Upcycled became an outlet for owners. What gave them their start was a shop called Rummage Heaven in Marcellus. Many of the small businesses within the building sell anything from vintage furniture to repurposed everyday items, like chairs turned into plant potters. If you would like to go check them out and what they have, Rummage Heaven is open Thursday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the address is 3165 Amber Road. With only a month left at OCC, students are making the decision whether or not they will be transferring from OCC. According to OCC, more than 70% of students plan to continue for a 4-year college. If you are a student who plans on transferring, meet with your advisor or the Career Services. Onondaga Community College also provides transfer fairs to get information on colleges you might want to attend. We're back to weather for the weekend update. What is the weather like for the next 3 days, Ryan?
Well, I wouldn't plan any barbecues soon, as we are heading into a couple of days of rainfall and cloudy days. With a high of 53 and a low of 35 on Sunday, grab a blanket and Netflix because this will be a very indoor activity type of weekend.
Thank you for joining us this Friday for news. Don't forget to tune in next week. I'm Robert Walker. This is ONTV Update.